Hey everybody, and welcome to the What Matters Most lead generation seminar. We're going to give some stragglers a few minutes to join. Give us 2 minutes and we'll be right with you. Again, I see people coming in. We're going to get started here in about 1:30. Again, checking in. By the way, mic check 1 2. Does everyone hear me? Please press Y in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Okay, we'll be starting in about 1 minute. Okay, the webinar is almost full. We're actually going to get started here in about 30 seconds. Once again, welcome everybody. 30 seconds. Okay, the webinar is now full. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, glad to have you on the webinar today. We're going to be going over some awesome content in regards to your business and why you need to make sure that lead generation is the main focus of your business. Not SEO, not social media, and definitely not Facebook fan pages. So let's talk about what we're actually going to be going over in this webinar. First, I'm just going to introduce myself and let you know a little bit about my company. Then we're going to go into the difference between SEO and lead generation. From there, we're going to go into the 5 simple things you can do to increase your business lead flow. We'll go over a few myths, a few reasons businesses may shy away from lead generation providers, and then we'll go into a couple of frequently asked questions. Sound good? All right, I'm well aware how valuable your time is as a business owner, so I'm going to hop right in. Hope that sounds good to you. My company is localwebsite.biz. I help local businesses get leads through web pages, through pay-per-call, through different multimedia efforts. And now that you know a little bit about my company, let's hop right in and getting good content. Let me ask you a quick question. What's more important to you? Being on top of Google for a certain keyword or having leads calling you every single day? It's definitely an obvious answer. You see, maybe you fall into this category, but a lot of business owners focus on getting their website to the top of Google for certain keywords rather than focusing on the real thing that matters, having leads call you every single day. Plus, there is no guarantee that having your site at the top of Google will benefit your business. There are a few things that you need to understand before you ever try to rank a website. 1, is the website easy to navigate with a clear call to action? And 2, does the keyword or keywords you want to rank for get ample searches? You see, Google changes its algorithm a few times a year, which really messes up the rankings. Rather than focusing on having your website ranked for certain keywords, your focus should switch to what strategies can I implement that will actually get my phone ringing? So what is the difference between SEO and lead generation? As I alluded a minute ago, SEO is ever-changing and always will. Google doesn't like it when people can manipulate those search results, so they regularly change their algorithm. SEO is a complete shot in the dark. Even if you rank number 1 for a specific search term, there is no guarantee that when you'll see positive results on your bottom line. Heck, if you have negative reviews or no reviews about your business, it could actually do more harm than good. When you work with a company that specializes in SEO, you'll most likely pay a monthly retainer, and the results that you get are not guaranteed. I don't get why people choose this route, even when there's obviously a better choice. That choice, in my mind, is lead generation. The great thing about lead generation and working with a lead generation company is that everything is based off of results. Later on, I'm going to go over how to find a lead generation company and also how to generate leads on your own. But it's important to know that all reliable lead generation companies should have the option for pay per lead. That's critical. That's where you agree upon a price that you're willing to pay a company per lead that they send you. This way you know that they aren't messing around. They only get paid when they can show you some results. The important thing is to track. Make sure you have a tracking phone number so you know the leads are coming from your lead service provider. More on this later. Let's say you want to handle lead generation on your own. Well, there are 5 tips to help you in the process. As I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that there is a call to action on your website or on your internet real estate that you'll be using to get these leads. What do you want your lead to do when they get to your website? Call you, opt in for a free report, opt in for a free consultation, request a quote. Whatever your call to action is, that should be the first thing they see on your website. It should be clear as day. Another tip for lead generation is to use paid traffic. While free traffic is awesome, it takes time to generate free traffic. For immediate results, you can look into pay-per-click. They call it PPC. Purchasing banner ads on related sites, or purchasing solo ads. If you have any questions on what those are, send me an email and I can go into more detail. The key thing is that you get instant traffic to your website, and if you have a clear call to action on your site, you should have no problems generating leads fairly quickly. Next step, to use numerous traffic mediums. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Find a way to generate leads with one traffic source and then find another, and then find another, and then find another. You want as many traffic sources working in your favor as possible. This way, if for some reason one stops working or something changes with it, you still have other sources of traffic that work. This is especially true if the only source of traffic is SEO. That is a huge gamble to put all of your eggs in one SEO basket. All Google has to do is to make one small change, and any progress that you've made to get to number 1 has been wiped out. Next, you want to make sure that you're tracking your results. This way you can figure out which traffic source is working and which one is producing, and the most amount of leads that you can ramp it up. There are a number of ways to track, starting with Google Analytics. You can track phone numbers too. For example, you can grab a Google Voice number for free and put it on one website that you're using for a PPC, and then you grab another Google Voice number on a website that is different or has a different call to action, also pay-per-click here, and then you figure out which site is converting more traffic into leads. You can then get rid of the site that isn't working and ramp up the amount on the traffic that is working. Does that make sense? Everyone's saying, yep, some knows, but yep. If you don't understand, go ahead and send me an email and I will take care of it. I am here for you. Let's continue on. Finally, to convert more traffic into leads, you can offer some form of incentive for the potential customer to call now. For example, you can offer a discount for a specific day, you can offer a gift card if they call on a certain day, etc. You get the idea. The key is to make sure there is some form of urgency for them to call right away. Now, how come all businesses don't use lead generation providers? If you have a high converting product or service, using a lead generation service should be an absolute no-brainer. However, most people don't know who to turn to. If you're in the home improvement industry, you can use ServiceMagic. However, expect to share your leads with about 3 other businesses. If you want the leads yourself, I can guide you after this webinar is over, and we can find a cheap solution for you. A lot of business owners don't understand the value of a lead generation provider either. Lead generation providers are basically your own marketing team. They let you handle your normal business operations like going out on a meeting, job fulfillment, site visit, etc., while they handle your lead generation. You can guarantee that they'll be sending you qualified leads as well because, as I stated earlier, they get paid only when they produce results for you. It's a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. Another reason business owners don't use lead generation providers is because they think they're too expensive. This could be further from the truth. When you take into account how much time and money it costs to generate leads on your own, it normally comes out to much more than the cost of a lead provided by a lead generation provider. Let's go into some myths about lead generation services. Most business owners I've talked to about lead generation are under the impression that they have to pay a monthly retainer fee with no guarantee on results. While some companies will try to sell you on the idea, it is clear indication that you should run. They don't believe in what they're selling you if that's the only option. Credible providers, on the other hand, will offer a pay-per-lead plan. So you're only paying when you actually get the interested lead. These leads will be tracked and will normally come in the form of a phone call. Most of the time, the phone call and the phone number that they're calling from is a number that reroutes to your business line. This way, when you can see who called, how long they called, and where they called from, meaning what traffic source produced this lead. Pay-per-click, Google Local, SEO, something else. The other common myth is that all companies share leads with multiple businesses. This is why it's important for you to set up a tracking phone number with your lead generation provider so that you know the lead that is only calling you. Don't rely on a provider to email you the lead's credentials. Businesses like ServiceMagic are known for doing this, so make sure that there is a clear understanding beforehand. So this one might not be a complete myth since some providers do it, but it's important to make sure before working with a provider that you are not sharing leads with another business owner. Let's talk about some frequently asked questions now. How much should each lead cost? The great thing is, as stated earlier, it's pay per performance. You're only paying when you have a qualified lead calling you. Depending on the service you're providing, the price per lead can vary. Send me an email after this webinar is over, and I can give you a quote on what you should expect to hear from other companies. How can I get started implementing the techniques you mentioned earlier? Again, contact me after this webinar, and I can guide you with setting up your own lead generation mediums. There are 2 questions that you should ask a provider when you're deciding whether or not to move forward with them. The first is, are these leads being shared with other businesses? If the answer is yes, say thank you, move on. The second question is, can I pay per lead opposed to a monthly retainer? If they said no, again, thank you and move on. By all means, if you want to pay monthly, go for it, but make sure that they offer an option to pay per lead so you know that they're credible and stand behind their work. This concludes the webinar for today. Thank you very much for attending. Please send me emails at leads@localwebsite.biz. Again, that's leads, L-E-A-D-S, at localwebsite.biz. Looking forward to talking to you and getting a package together that you'll see extreme value. Email is the best way to get a hold of me, but if you want to give me a call, feel free to call me at this number, and one of our assistants will definitely help you get started right away. Thank you again.